moves as well.
Most certainly, and we have, like I mentioned, a lot of fighters making their debuts tonight, and what's really going to be interesting for me to watch in those fights, how do they come out? Are they aggressive? Are they a little bit timid? Are they a little bit reserved? Are they going to try to measure everything out before they kind of get going? It's going to be very interesting to see that. A bunch of the guys that I spoke to yesterday who are making their debut are predicting knockouts in the first round, are predicting submissions. I think we're going to have a lot of action. I think these guys are raring to go and ready to get at it. What do you think, David?
When it comes to debuting fighters, it can go one or either way. One, it can go one way where they want to take this as a learning experience. They want to work out the kinks to further their careers. Or, in this case, especially with this lineup of fighters, they're like, screw that. Let's go for the knockout, let's go for the big finish, and let's get on the highlight reel for YouTube or anywhere, or Facebook. They want to get that highlight reel knockout, and I have a feeling with all these debuting fighters that there's going to be no hesitation. They're going for war, and they're going for a knockout, and they're going for a big win.
Way to the cage you see here, Raynel Urena out of Warriors Nation, the Slender Man. He'll be taking on Nick Natali, again a mutual debut here to start us off for the night.
Well, comes from a great gym. I mean, from Warriors Nation, it doesn't get better than that. You're going to get top-notch training, and you're going to come out ready and prepared. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens. Again, like I said in the intro, it's going to be two guys that are going to be a little bit of hesitation. They're going to be trying to work out the kinks early and try to, feeling out process. Or it could be two guys going for the knockout, going for the big KO.
Most certainly, and I think a guy who might really be looking to do that in this fight would be Raynel. When I spoke to him yesterday, I asked him to describe his style to me. What he said is, simply, I maul people. He's looking to get out there tonight and maul Nick Natali. I don't think Nick Natali wants to let that happen. This is going to be a very fun mutual debut between these two fighters. Ready to get set underway here live from the Stereo Garden in Patchogue.
Round number one, here we go. Oh, comes out with a
beautiful
big
teep kick right off the bat.
And a takedown. Now
So
pulls guard.
goes for the teep, now throwing up a triangle. Well, we mentioned these guys might be raring to go. They are getting after it quick.
Oh, maybe a Umaplata. Go Plata. Oh, it rolls right out of that.
Now still looking for that arm is Urena.
He's still looking for that sub. Still looking for that submission. Trying to take his back. And now in a crucifix.
And
now
looks like Natali's going to end up on top here. Still has his arm in some trouble there, though, and now he pulls into Urena's guard. I don't even think the referee got to get his hand back to his body before Urena ran in and threw that flying front body kick.
Ain't that a fact?
So we see another exchange here. Looks like Natali's looking to pass into side control, and he does.
Now in side control.
They're looking to get established there. Urena looks to be rolling him back into his guard, and he's back there. Now in closed full guard.
Still landing.
Big body shots there from Natali. Trying to frame up that elbow possibly. And some more body shots there. Now 43 seconds remaining in this first round. And Natali has spent the better part of this round, almost all of it on top here. But Urena aggressive and active from his back.
And you got to respect Nick throwing those legs up. Might be going for another triangle.
There almost has been that element of it. A lot of the time you'll see two elite strikers kind of stand across from each other, throw a lot of feints, and just kind of measure each other out. To an extent, that's kind of what our fighters here have been doing on the ground.
Land strikes
as the round ends.
And the round ends. Who do you have going into the third round? I mean, you got Urena, who's been so active on the bottom. And you have Nick, who's been defending so well, landing great ground and pound. Who do you have going into the third round?
Well, going into this third round, if I'm in Urena's corner, I would likely tell him that he needs a finish in this one. Just spending 2 rounds on your back with Natali landing the better part of the shots. Yes, there were the submission attempts from Urena. He was very aggressive on his back, but got to think he's down 2 rounds right now, having spent so much time on the bottom.
Got one boot in. He's riding a little bit high, though.
Yeah, Urena's going to try to shimmy him off the top here, but very nice hip pressure from Natali to take the back. Now looking for a rear naked choke. Natali has the body triangle here, trying to get his hands clasped around Urena's neck.
He's trying desperately to end this fight. You don't want the fight to go in the hands of the judges. Nick is trying to put an end to this fight with a rear naked choke.
That is correct. I mean, I said at the break that I think that Urena might be down 2 rounds, but my opinion means nothing here. There are 3 scorecards that matter, and mine isn't one of them. So Natali here, not trying to leave anything to chance. And an excellent display of sportsmanship there from Natali, helping his opponent up from his feet, to his feet rather. And an excellent effort put in there. Nick Natali spending the entirety of 3 rounds on top, effectively the entirety of those 3 rounds on top, landing body shots. As we kept mentioning, Urena looking for those triangles, looking for the arm bars, had a shot at a couple of leg locks at a couple of points, but just Natali a little bit too slippery there to be submitted. And now we will send it into the cage with our cage announcer, Drew Park, with the decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 3-minute rounds, we go to the judges' scorecard for our decision. All 3 judges scored the contest 30-27 with your winner by unanimous decision, Nick Natali.
So in fact, it is Nick Natali who emerges victorious out of our first fight of the evening. He gets a win in his career debut with a dominant effort with his wrestling on top, on the ground.
From 2 debuting fighters.
Competitive first round there. I'm not sure how I would score it, and you really hit the nail on the head there. When I spoke to Erling yesterday about his style, he said he's a very measured, technical kind of fighter. He does like to walk forward and kind of push the pace, but he likes to keep things technical and smart. But by the same token, if his opponent wants to stand and bang, he'll stand and bang. That's what he said.
I saw a couple times where Erling rocked him with those head kicks. I mean, his kicks are nasty.
Oh, and a big right head kick.
Beautiful kick from David.
David Pardo opening up the second round in style.
Now he's starting to get some of that swagger back. Spinning fist from David.
David is feeling it right now. David Pardo with another head kick. And now returning knees from Collado as he looks to get those back. And a big left from Pardo. They certainly do, and they're both reacting to each other's feints. You can see that respect, that nobody wants to take too big of a risk. They are standing and trading a little bit, but they're being smart about it. This is excellent kickboxing here. David, I got to say, at this point in the fight, I don't know who's winning. I see a lot of back and forth action. I'm seeing some heavy punches, heavy combinations landing on both sides, head kicks from both sides. What are you seeing out there?
I'll tell you who's the winner. We're the winners. I mean, look at these. I mean, these guys.
You mentioned an unbelievable showing for New York City mixed martial arts and New York City kickboxing here. These guys are giving us a show. Erling Collado and David Pardo fighting it out bell to bell every round, and this is smart technical kickboxing too.
MMA is back in big fashion here in New York City, baby. I love it. Here we go.
And a body kick was missed there. It looks like another groin kick.
That was another cup shot.
And it appears that it was. Yeah, you hate to see this. And Collado really trying to get himself in working order as quickly as possible here. He's jumping back in this. I don't know if I would recommend that. He doesn't look fully right yet.
Erling is hurt, but Erling's still putting together combinations.
What?
Still fighting.
What a warrior is Erling Collado.
As they clinch, Erling's trying to shake off the cobwebs. Big head kick from David.
That looked like a question mark kick from Pardo. Oh, the big left head kick comes back from Collado.
Holy.
Low kick return from Pardo. Both fighters swinging now.
Oh, going for a head kick and slip.
Swing and a miss from Collado there. Heavy action here. 1 minute and 20 seconds. Back and forth they go as we cross the 50-second mark. Spinning back elbow.
Back elbow.
What a back elbow from Pardo there.
You have got to be kidding me. Going for a spinning punch of his own.
He's got to be careful with that technique, though. Went for it again, and Collado looked to be setting up a counter. These guys are both dangerous. 30 seconds left. They're both going for the finish.
As they clinch up, judges are definitely thinking about this one.
Yeah, certainly. This is taking much longer than the last fight did to get to the decision. I think Nick Natali was more of a clear winner in that mixed martial arts bout than either guy would be in this kickboxing fight.
If this is a preview for things to come for the rest of the evening, the judges are going to have a tough job. I mean, every fight's been good so far, and it's only been 2 fights.
Like you said before, the winners are us for getting to be here and getting to watch this. And if you're a fan at home watching these prelims, I don't think you want to go anywhere for the rest of the night.
The contest, 28-28. This bout is a draw, ladies and gentlemen.
Did I just call that?
I think you did just call that, David. Well, the crowd's booing here, but I'm certainly not going to boo that effort. That was a fantastic effort from both fighters, and you know what? I'm fine to see that fight go draw because as we mentioned, another mutual debut here. I think a lot of ground skill is present in this fight. So, as we mentioned, we might see a lot of really smooth jiu-jitsu transitions. The crowd goes nuts for Danny Valle here. Shuffling around the octagon as we send it back in to Drew Park. This does in fact let go of that hook, and Valle is going to work. Body shots, body shots, body shots.
Ground and pound. And they get to their feet. Trading bombs, continuing to trade bombs. No feeling out process. Vasquez is against the cage.
Shot after
Look
shot
at
here.
this fight.
Danny Valle
Trading bombs.
looking for the finish
They're
early.
trading bombs. Going for broke. Trading bombs against the cage.
And Valle still pushing forward here, now backs off. That was a huge sequence for Valle.
Shoots
As
for
we
a
work.
double A takedown.
Now crossing the 140 mark of the very first round. Vasquez is in the dominant position with 40 seconds remaining in this round. Looking to get north-south here. Now working back to side control and crucifix.
Going for an
And
armbar.
he's got an armbar.
Going for
Vasquez has an armbar. That
It's
is
a
deep.
vicious fight. That armbar
Looking
is
to
deep.
end the fight.
That armbar is deep.
Valle fighting it.
We're going to end this fight. Danny defending. Danny defending. Danny could
Getting
tap.
close here. That looks very tight.
That was
arm is
tight.
spinning back
And
down.
he
Valle
escaped.
with unbelievable
Holy
defense.
crap.
How did he
Holy-
escape that?
How did he do that?
How did Valle manage to escape that submission?
Went for an anaconda choke. Danny saw what was
Nearing
coming.
the end of the round here.
Unbelievable. What heart from Danny.
Now this is early in the fight. We see the fighters going back and forth, and again, they're both intent to change and bang here. But as this wore on, Valle did seem to get the better of these exchanges, as we see here along the fence.
Pushes him against the cage, landing great blows, scoring points on the scorecard.
And still a
that's-
nice
That's
counter.
very good at countering. And
And
look
here we
at
see the
this
armbar.
armbar.
That is, ouch!
A normal man would attack from that, but this guy is no normal man.
No, he is built different, is Danny Valle. He's back out here for the second round, and even having survived that submission attempt, possibly ended up on top after that first round on the judges' scorecard.
Block from Danny.
And a nice whip to the body there from Valle, returned
Spinning
with a
kick.
spinning side body kick from Vasquez, and now Valle jumps on him, pressing him against the fence, counters from Vasquez's feet. But
Going
now
for another
Valle looking to send
takedown.
him back down, and he
Complete
does.
takedown.
But heads up here, Vasquez has a guillotine with 8 seconds left in the round. Valle defending wisely here, rolling out to the side, and it looks like he's going to survive. And that will spell the end of the second round. Again, this fight is brought to you by Nerd Focus as we look at the replays from the second round.
Push him right against the cage. Going for that guillotine. Has it in tight, but completes that takedown. Gets his back.
Valle with that really nice transition. Had his back given up, but turning into it to take a top position there. Finished the round in that top position
And
after he sat
another
Vasquez
takedown.
down.
Vasquez going right for the guillotine. That has been his go-to the entire time. An excellent defense by Danny.
So if you're in Vasquez's corner, when Valle does go in to shoot there, now that he's done that a couple of times along the fence, are you telling him to look for that guillotine? Do you think that's a way to finish the fight? Or do you want him to more get his hips back and try to stuff the takedown?
Personally, stuff the takedown. Every time he's went for the guillotine, Danny, again, is no slouch on the ground, and Danny has been defending well against that guillotine every single time. I didn't see Danny in any danger from those guillotines, so I would just throw him
Smart
raw.
from Valle. That's happened a couple of times now that he's gotten caught in a guillotine on his way in with those great shots. Getting out to side control, getting his hips out, defending himself well.
And Danny knows every time they get into a gunslinging battle, Danny knows that when he shoots for that takedown, he's going to get it every single time. Definitely scoring on the judges' scorecard.
And Vasquez now retaining his guard, it looks like, as Valle landing body shots.
Shots to the body from
Must
Danny.
be a really interesting position for Vasquez and his coaches to be in right now. Top mount is an excellent position, but again, novice rules, you can't land head strikes on the ground as we see Valle sweep to top position.
And now scoring body shots as Danny's looking to close out this fight.
And now just 10 seconds remaining
And
as
Vasquez-
Vasquez sweeps to the top position.
Unbelievable.
Right into side control as Vasquez trying to put an exclamation mark and give the judges something to think about. Knees to the body to close the fight from Vasquez, and there is the final bell.
Who won this fight?
Beats me, David.
I
Again, I'll go back to your reference from the last fight. We're the winners for getting to watch such a hotly contested contest once again.
Danny Valle.
So Danny Valle takes a split decision here. Won the fight on 2 judges' scorecards, lost it on 1. The fighters come together for an embrace after an unbelievable fight from both guys, and the respect has been earned between Valle and Vasquez. Certainly, and you know, you talk about the development of the rest of the card, but you also can look at this is just how far MMA has come in New York City. We were talking a little bit about that before, how great this scene is. Like you said, you know, in past years, you might see debuting fighters kind of look like deer in the headlights, and then that OS moment comes in, get the lights kind of turn on, and then they realize they're in a fight, then they start banging at it, right? These guys, all calm, cool, and collected, look like they've been there a million times.
Exactly. But you're dealing with the evolution of mixed martial arts. Everyone's good at everything.
And back into Drew Park to read in Shifsharan.
Making his way into the red corner, Michael Shifsharan.
A single.
Shifsharan is in deep on that high crotch, trying to step over the leg and run the pipe.
Sultan defending
Oh,
well.
instead
picks
just
him
lifts
up,
and slams him. What a
down.
takedown from Shifsharan. Very heavy action, heavy hands, heavy right kicks. Very confident in that right kick is Chimbayev. All that coming from Chimbayev early in the fight. But as that pressure was being put on, Shifsharan shoots in a really nice high crotch, lifts him off the canvas, drops him back down hard, ends up staying there for just about 2 minutes, and then at the end of the round, we see Chimbayev get up and control some of the action. And still controlling the second round as we approach the 10-second mark is Shifsharan, now looking to land a few more definitive blows as the round is ending, and he's got a few there.
More strikes to the stomach.
Up kicks coming back, and that will spell the end of the round. Very nice second round there from Shifsharan. Again, early on, pushing the pace was Nursultan Chimbayev, but as the round went on, Shifsharan was able to press him up against the fence, work his way in for a takedown. He worked hard for it, but he did get the fight there.
Michael is fighting.
So gotta figure Chimbayev might need a finish here. You never know how these judges' scorecards will come out, though.
Low kick to keep the Sultan at bay.
Oh, big right
he
hand.
rocks
A big
him.
left came back from Shifsharan on that one. Now a big right hand down the pipe. Both guys landing here. Oh, and a big right head kick from Chimbayev.
Another head
one.
kick.
And now a spinning body side kick.
Sultan is landing at will.
Two
Another
big right hands there, and Shifsharan.
Choose a double leg takedown. Deep on a single leg. Looking to complete the single leg. Sultan defending well.
Nursultan is defending well, and he needs to get out of this. At least I believe if he's going to win this fight. He hurt Shifsharan badly there, it looked like, at the beginning of this round.
Michael's still keeping with that single leg. The Sultan's defending very, very well, keeping close to the cage.
And now he is trying to use that guillotine to get himself off the cage. Looks to be digging an underhook now on his right side.
Starting to defend. Michael trying to complete this takedown. Will he complete this takedown?
Shifsharan is so good at sucking the hips in, man.
Takedown.
So good at that. We've seen that happen 3 times now, once in each round. They get locked up along the cage. Shifsharan digging down, locking his hands together, sucking the hips in, finishing.
And shades of a Khabib Nurmagomedov trying to hook those legs.
And he does. Now he did that once in the second round too, as an attempt to neutralize the guillotine that Chimbayev was using to defend against the single leg takedown. Now he uses these leg ties to step over into full mount.
Puts the vines in.
With 25 seconds.
Trying to pop it off.
Oh, and what a sweep!
What a sweep!
Chimbayev has 20 seconds to work here and give the judges something to think about or to finish the fight. He is on top in Shifsharan's guard. Now we're down to 15 seconds. Posture. And we did say those first 2 rounds largely controlled by Shifsharan, and a portion of that third round as well. But early on in that last third round that we saw, we got to see Chimbayev dominating some striking action early in the round. At the end of the round, switching, getting on top with that beautiful sweep. And we're going to see the replays from this round here. A big right head kick from Chimbayev there.
And completing another takedown. Michael told you he had a great game plan. He wasn't kidding.
All you high school wrestlers out there, you watch what Michael Shifsharan just did. That's how you finish a double leg. You get behind the knees and you lock your hands and you suck the hips in.
But a beautiful.
And a very smart game plan. He did mention going into this fight he felt he would have the advantage on the ground. Felt that he saw Chimbayev's game as one-dimensional. Seems like him and his coaches took advantage with a great game plan tonight.
You saw exactly why Michael's game plan was to keep.
Judge C scores the bout 30-27 for your winner by split decision, Michael Shifsharan.
I have no idea why that was a split decision, but Michael still walks away with the victory.
Well, what would a mixed martial arts competition in a single night, what would a mixed martial arts card be without at least one controversial scorecard, right? And again, great heart shown there by Chimbayev, but I think you and I are on the same page that Shifsharan most likely won at least 2 of those 3 rounds. And again, you saw the look of shock on Shifsharan's face when the second scorecard was read 28-29 for Chimbayev, but when that 30-27 came out, his coaches started pointing at him. He started nodding his head. I think they were very confident that the third judge had seen it 3 rounds for him.
I think that was a look of shock from everybody.
David, you're absolutely right about that. I know I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be here all night checking out some amazing fights. Again, if that's the preview, if those were the prelims, I can't wait for the main card because every one of those fights was incredible. As we mentioned, I think all 8 fighters that we had the pleasure of watching tonight had an excellent showing, and I'm really excited to see them again in the future. Folks, thank you very much for joining us tonight for our prelims. This has been a pleasure of mine to join you and bring you this coverage. See you on the main card on pay-per-view.